Oh my,
I can't, I don't want to put it down. Look at it.
First brain miss here.
the most docile pike you've ever seen in your life.
Alright then guys, so today we're going to be tying some nice and easy feeder rigs. This is what you're going to need for the first feeder rig. This is a really simple feeder rig. Once you get tying this rig quite a lot, you can do it in literally 30 seconds to a minute, absolutely no problem. But yeah, that's literally what you're going to need for your for this first feeder rig. It's a really simple feeder rig. So you're going to want to get your line that's coming off your rod. This is your main line off your feeder rod. Then you're going to want to get your feeder. This is you use any feeder for this, whatever your preference. Depends where you're fishing. Put that feeder onto your main line and just create like a big loop sort of thing. You're going to want about a 12 to 13 inch loop. And then pull the line right down to the end, right there, and then feed your feeder back through the line, through the loop that you've made, obviously creating a knot. This is a simple overhand knot, and then pull that tight. Then you're going to want to wet your knot, always wet your knots, vital. And then once you pull that tight, just nip that excess piece of line off. I'm using my teeth, but I wouldn't recommend that. Use a pair of scissors, it gets a nice clean cut on that line. And then you're going to want to bring that feeder back down to the knot that you've just made and create another knot. You're just creating a loop there. Obviously wet that knot, pull that tight, and then create another loop straight below it. I'm doing this one a little bit smaller. I would make it a bit bigger in an actual fishing situation. This is just for the video. Wet that knot as well. And then what that does is pushes the hook length away from the feeder, preventing tangles and things like that. So you're going to want to get some hook length now. I'm using a 1 pound 1 hook length here. Usually I'd use a 6 to 8 pound main line, 4 to 6 pound hook length, but like I say, this is just for the video. Create a loop in the end of that hook length. Wet your knot, and then just trim off the excess. There you go. And now the loop that you've made on the main line, you're going to want to push the hook length loop through the main line hoop, like so, and then feed your hook length back through the mainline loop. Like so. There you go, pull tight. And because this isn't really a knot, we don't need to wet that one. Pull that tight. And that's sort of like a knotless knot. It's not a knot, but it will never come undone. And there you go, you're pretty much there. So you've created like a stop loop sort of thing, so when the feeder hits it, when a fish picks the bait up, it'll hit the end of that knot, pulling the hook into its mouth. And here's the hooks here. We've got some nice little spaded hooks there. And we're just going to do a quick 30-second hook tie onto the hook length. Like I say, once you've got this down, once you've been doing it quite a lot, you can you should be able to tie one of these rigs in easy a minute. So you just want to create a loop, start swizzling the line around the hook about 5, 6, 7 times, and then pop that bit of line back through the loop that you've made, not letting go of the line that you twizzled around the shank of the hook. Wet that, and then use your fingers to just pull that line tight without letting any pressure off the actual line. Wet it, pull tight, and then just trim that little bit of excess off there, and then always make sure that the line coming off the hook is on the inside of the shank, and that will turn the hook every single time into the fish's mouth, catching your fish. Beautiful stuff. This is a simple, really easy feeder rig that I'll use pretty much on 80% of my fishing. And there you go, simple. Easy as that. And now for rig 2. This is a little more technical, I would say. Still a really good feeder rig. There's a few more moving parts to this rig, you know what I mean? There's a few more accessories that you need. We've got some float stops there that we're going to use as feeder stops in this situation. So yeah, let's have a look. First things first, you're going to want to get yourself this inline swivel, and you're going to want to clip that onto your feeder. This is also a really simple feeder rig. This one possibly a little quicker. If you can get it down, you can probably do it a little bit quicker. So you're going to want to just, first things first, on your main line, feed a float stop onto there. There you go, and that's just going to act as a barrier to stop the feeder in its tracks, sort of thing. So like I say, if a fish picks your bait up, the feeder will hit that, causing it to be hooked. And there you go. Now you're going to want to get some smaller, you could use the same, but I do have these different ones, just a little bit smaller float stops. Feed another one of them onto the line, this one going on after the feeder. There you go, and that just creates a nice little barrier to help hook fish. Simple. And now all you're going to want to do now is just where the main line ends, you just want to create a loop. And this is again just a simple overhand loop knot. Wet that knot and pull it tight, trim off the excess, and then just push that float stop down to your knot, getting it as tight to your knot as you can. Now you can change the distance that the feeder will travel in this little barrier that you've made. It's all just preference on the day. And then, like again, you're going to want to get yourself some hook length. And as I said before, this is just some 1 pound 1 hook length that we've got lying about. I'd usually use a 6 to 8 pound main line with a 4 to 6 pound hook length. Just create a loop knot in the end of that hook length. Pull that tight and wet your knot. vital that you wet your knots. There you go, we've just used the simple spaded hook tie on there. And like before, we're just gonna feed that line, feed that loop onto the hook length. We're just going to feed that loop into the main line loop, feed the hook through the main line loop, and just pull it tight. There you go. And that is it. Another feeder rig ready to go. Simple, easy, and effective. And like I said before, as long as that hook length line is on the inside of the shank of the hook, it will turn the hook into the fish's mouth, into the fish's lips, pretty much every single time, resulting in a nice hook set. Beautiful stuff. So yeah, the only thing left to do is get those feeder fishing rigs out, get them tied up, and catch some nice fish. Beautiful stuff.
Wow. What a fish.